everybody. Welcome to our latest episode of Talking the Box Office. And we are talking about the summer 2025 box office, and particularly looking back at our predictions to see how we did. And all three of us did pretty good in our predictions this year. And I don't know if that's just because there were less variables. It was pretty predictable what would be on that top 10. But it's going to be fun to talk about what we thought about the different movies. And I'm film critic Grace Wagner, and David's here.
Hey, thanks for having me back as always.
Yes, and Manda's here.
Heyo, good to be back.
Yes. So what I ended up doing for this time is I gave 1 point if you got a honorable mention anywhere on your list. I gave 2 points if you had a film on your list that was in the top 10. And then I gave 3 points if you had the right placement. So if you had it at 5 and it was actually at 5, then you got 3 points.
Right? Yeah, I already know that didn't happen for me. I know that.
Well, see,
I got no 3-pointer for sure.
So you actually did, Manda, you did the best as far as including movies. Every single one of the movies that you had, including your honorable mentions, was on the list somewhere.
Bless.
The thing that made you, so you ended up with 18 points.
Oh, it's terrible.
No. But you didn't have any that were in the right placement. So you missed out on any of those 3-pointers.
It happens every single time, man. Oh, I'm getting better at it, at least.
So, David, you had Superman at the correct placement at number 2. And these are domestic, not world. So you had Superman at 2, so that gave you 3 points. And then you had Thunderbolts at 7, and that gave you 3 points.
Do I lose points for having Megan 2.0 in my top 10?
Well, so I also had, so you and we had Megan, and that didn't even get an honorable mention. So that was the difference between the two of us and Manda, is that she didn't have faith in Megan, rightfully so.
Zero faith in Megan.
The one that we all missed was Weapons.
I should have freaking put it as an honorable mention.
I didn't even know that was coming out. So
that's why I would have totally had it on my honorable mentions if I had known it was coming out, but I had no idea.
Yeah.
Then for me, I had Fantastic Four at 5, and that was correct. I had Mission Impossible at 6, and that was correct. And I had Thunderbolts at 7, and that was correct.
Nice.
So we actually both, I'm sure I got that right. So both David and I both got 19. So we tied.
Oh. Hold up. I lost by 1 point.
You lost by 1 point.
That is horrendous. I'm so pissed off I put Mission Impossible first. Now I'm mad.
So let's go over the actuals. So at number 13, because the bottom 3 were what I considered the honorable mentions. So the 13 was 28 Years Later. And I'm not sure on the budget of this, but I think that they would actually be pretty happy with that one.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to even be anywhere close to the top 10. So
28 Years Later, I feel like they probably are pretty happy with it even being in the top 15.
Oh, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And I did see it. I hadn't seen any of the others. That seems to be the theme this year, because I'm doing the movie show and other things like that. I saw Final Destination. I hadn't seen any of the others. I saw things. But yeah, I thought it was an interesting movie. It had a lot of mixed pieces that didn't quite gel all together.
It wasn't my favorite.
Especially the ending was bizarre. But I did at least think it was kind of interesting. It's the kind of movie you see and you want to talk about. I didn't go fresh on it, but I thought it was kind of an interesting mess.
Yeah, I was intrigued by a majority of it, but then the ending completely took me out, and I was like, what are we doing here? But yeah, it wasn't my favorite. I didn't watch the previous two, so I don't know if that's a factor either. I went in blind with this one, so it could be it.
You had it at 7 in your ranking, Manda. And how did you saw it, right? David, didn't you do an episode?
I did. I did one of my live shows on it, which was a fun one. And I don't like this series. I just never really liked the vibe of it. And I thought this was fine. Like I liked things about it, but yeah, I didn't expect to love it, and I didn't love it. But I thought it was all right though.
Mm. Yeah, that's interesting. So then next we have Freakier Friday, that came in at number 12. So this opened, because Weapons was so big, it opened lower than I thought it would, but it has had pretty good legs. It's hung around there at the box office. It budget 42 million. It wasn't even going to go to theaters at all. It was just going to be Disney Plus. It's made 115. It still, I think, has a little bit juice in the tank. I feel like they're probably pretty happy with that. It's not like a huge success, but I think they're probably pretty happy about it.
And it's basically a win because like it would have been, like you said, on Disney Plus, and it would have made nothing. So they should be happy no matter what that they put it in theaters.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because if you conclude that, you include Moana 2 and Lilo and Stitch, which we'll talk about. I mean, that's practically I think it might even be $2 billion. I mean, it's almost $2 billion that they would have lost if they had not released, if they didn't right to Disney Plus.
Yep.
And there are no matter subscriber increases that are going to make up for $2 billion. As far as the film, I had fun with it. It was I was worried that it was going to be like their Hocus Pocus and their Enchanted sequels, which were both for Disney Plus and both very weak, in my opinion. I think this was definitely better, funnier, sweeter. I think it's better than those. So I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did too. I had fun. Yeah.
All right. So at 11, we have Elio. And I'd say this is a disappointment for Pixar, but I think they had absolutely no faith in this movie. I don't think they're disappointed at all.
I still haven't watched it.
Oh, really?
I don't even have like the motivation to be like, oh, new Pixar, yay. Like I just don't feel that way towards it. No offense to.
Most people I know didn't even know it was coming out. They hadn't even seen a trailer. Like they did not care about this movie at all. They were over it.
Yeah.
And that is the thing with Disney. When they decide that there's no hope in a project, they don't even have in Tomorrowland, where this would have been perfectly on theme. They didn't even have like Elio themed treats, or I mean, just even within their own properties and their own parks, they don't market films they don't believe in. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, they do.
And but that's the reality of Disney. Nobody gives up on their films like Disney. But 150 to 200 million, we don't know the budget, somewhere around there. It's made 152, so it was fine. I just thought it was kind of boring. It was definitely made for I felt like little kids.
Not like
the shenanigans with the aliens and Elio's character, and it was just all very like little kids. Which is fine, but just a little boring for adults.
Are you a fan of Rachel's Reviews? Do you look forward to Family Movie Night, Female Film Critics Panels, or the Talking Disney podcast? If so, please consider supporting the podcast by becoming a Patreon. As a patron, you get to access monthly events such as the watch-alongs and Q&As, where you get to talk to stars and find out the behind the scenes of the movie making industry. And you can pick what I review for Family Movie Night, or even become a guest on the podcast. Podcasts and YouTube channels are expensive, and I really, really could use your help. I would so appreciate it. You also get to be a member of the Facebook group where we talk about all the films that we're seeing, and we have so much fun. Go to patreon.com/Hallmarkies and select one of the Rachel's fan tiers. That's patreon.com/Hallmarkies.
Okay. Number 10 was Weapons. So that's the big sleeper hit. There's always one. I feel like every season there's always one.
Yeah. I'm happy it was a horror movie.
Mm-hmm. A lot of times it's a horror movie.
Love it.
And this thing, it cost 38 million to make. It's already made over 200 million. Unbelievable.
It's amazing. I'm so happy.
Way to go. I didn't love the Rashomon structure. It was a little repetitive by necessity, but
I
I didn't love
loved
it. I thought it was good. I didn't like love it like everybody else, but it was decent. I did give it fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, but
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
I had
I'm with
fun
you,
with
Rachel.
it
it.
was a little boring to me.
Oh no.
I
I was
know.
so locked in. I was
I
like,
like
I
I
need
liked
to
it a lot.
know.
I liked it a
But
lot. I just didn't love it, but I liked
yeah,
it a
that's where
lot.
I'm at too.
That's
Yeah.
That's where I'm
fair.
at too. Good performances, it had good moments, definitely creepy moments.
Big
So
time.
and it's one I even said in my review, I was like, I picture this is one that could grow on me in time. It felt very Shyamalan-y to me,
Sure.
Yeah.
like something he would make, except for he would make it with a horrible twist that would make me mad. Okay, so number 9 is Final Destination Bloodlines. And this is the big surprise, I think, of at least it's certainly one of the biggest surprises for me personally, because if you had said that I was going to like Final Destination movie better than the Mission Impossible movie, I would say you're insane. But I wasn't even planning on seeing this, but I thought the trailer was absolutely great. They did such a good job with that trailer, with like the glass and the cup and the thing. It was just like, oh my gosh, I gotta see this. And so I went with my brother and we had a blast. I've never seen any of the others, but I thought it was really fun the way they did the whole setup with that club and the accident, and then following the sort of the clues through what's happening. It created tension well, but it didn't take itself too seriously. And some of the deaths were really funny. And
So
it was
funny.
fun too for me because there were a lot of people from Hallmark movies in the movie, like Richard Harmon. He's done who played the earring guy, the MRI guy. He's been in Hallmark stuff, so it was fun to see him. And Natasha Burnett, I've actually interviewed her twice, and she was the lead singer at the club. Anyway,
Nice.
so it was fun to
Okay.
see her get like a role in a big movie like this. And so I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a super fun time, and I was happy to see that it did so well.
Yeah. I loved it. I was
Yeah.
hooting and hollering in that theater, and like I'm not big on the entire franchise, so this was
Yeah.
killer.
What do you think, David? Did you see it?
I am in the exact same boat as you, Rachel. I had no interest in this movie whatsoever. I think I had seen the first one or two, but we're like, whatever, just same old horror. This is one of my favorite movies of the year. I had
Yes.
so much fun with it. Yeah.
It's definitely one of the most fun. It was a blast, and it made 287 million on a 50 million budget. And so, yeah, I'm happy to see. I just wish they hadn't killed off Richard Harmon's character, because then he could be in more movies, because he was really fun. um, and I can't think of the name. But he's in a Hallmark movie about he plays a tennis player, and it is fun and sexy and enjoyable. You should check it out. Okay, number 8 is where we have F1 the movie, and I didn't. You might have were the only one that had this on your list, and of us that had it on the list. And I at the time I didn't even know if it was going to be an R-rated film. I didn't know. And I was worried because Gran Turismo and Rush had both been racing movies and then had both kind of bombed at the box office. So that's why I was concerned. Plus, it's not like Brad Pitt has this perfect resume of blockbusters. I mean, Babylon, for example, like bombed, things like that. So I didn't have faith in it. And I was very wrong, because it of course, has done incredible. It's beating Superman on the worldwide box office. And it was, in my opinion, super entertaining. I know Manda and I disagree on this, but did you see it, David?
I
F1?
did not. I kept trying to go in IMAX, and the times just didn't work
Oh,
out.
okay.
And I feel like I've lost the will to see this movie, because what am I going to watch it at home? I mean, it seems like it made
Well,
for
it's
IMAX,
back in the IMAX. You might still be able to catch it this weekend if you wanted.
Yeah, I think it's all times that are at like 10 a.m. or something, and I'm working.
Okay.
So yeah, it keeps not working out. I don't know what it is. But.
You're not missing much.
Yeah.
Just watch Days of Thunder again.
Yeah,
Don't listen to her. Don't listen to her.
Uh-huh.
I'm right.
But it certainly has done great. I mean, it's one of the most successful original films of recent memory. So that's good.
It's
Good
crazy.
news for the film.
Crazy.
And let's see where it's at. It's $605 million budget, 200 to 300. We don't know because it's Apple, but they have to be clicking their heels at that for sure. Okay. So then next at number 7, we have Thunderbolts. And this actually was a disappointment for Marvel as far as the box office. And then they tried to do that whole, we're changing it to the new Avengers, which was so stupid. At least I thought that was really stupid. But it ended up making $382 million on a $180 million budget. So what do you think? Why do you think that might be, David? Why do you think it didn't do better at the box office?
I just think every Marvel movie is just not going to do as well as they want at the box office from now on. That's really all there is to it. We're about to say this again in a few more spots up the list, but it's still going to be considered a disappointment.
Yeah,
I agree.
And I know that the past Marvel movies were still PG-13. It's not like they were super kid friendly, but they had the reputation as being family friendly, right? And I feel like that's a big thing that they've lost. Like, I think that families no longer have the confidence that I can take my kids with me to see the latest Marvel movie. And I mean, especially you look like, obviously something like Deadpool and Wolverine, but like even just this whole phase has been dark. Thunderbolts, I didn't care for it personally, but like it was really dark. You literally have a little girl getting zapped and things like that like I wouldn't take a young kid to see it. And you could make the argument, well, you shouldn't have been taking young kids from the beginning, but that's irrelevant when you're talking about the box office. I think that that's a big thing I think it's a big thing that Marvel needs to start looking at their movies as adult movies. And you just can't have as big a budget for adult movies unless it's something way over the top like a Deadpool and Wolverine.
I personally think that they ruined their brand with the 3-month window and that they would put it on streaming services because a family of 4 to spend money, it costs over $100 for 4 of them to go out, like at least in Canada, for a night out is $100 for a family of 4. And I think if they're like, okay, in 3 months it's going to be on Disney Plus anyway, I don't have to go see this at that point. So I think that's the massive factor regarding why families aren't going.
Yeah, and if you're not sure if it's going to be something that will be,
for them,
family appropriate, then you're not gonna go. You're not gonna go.
Totally.
I don't know. What do you think, David?
I mean, I liked it. I thought it was one of the better recent Marvel movies. But that being said, everybody's been conditioned to just stay home and wait. And then, like the other story, I mean, we don't have to go on a big tangent or anything, but especially with Marvel, is that they continue to have good opening weekends, and then it just drops off just insanely by the next weekend. So
that's true.
That's
true. Yeah. Well, and I just think people, you burn people enough times, and they're not going to be that confident in going if they're disappointed, and they feel like, oh my gosh, I don't even know who any of these people are. The Thunderbolts. Who are these people? So I haven't watched all the shows, and I haven't, that's part of it too. That I think people feel reticent, to go.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. So number 6, we have Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. So this movie for me is without a doubt one of the biggest disappointments of the year. I think it's a movie of 2 parts. The first hour, I wanted to die. It was so slow and boring and full of remember this from the third movie.
Wrong.
Remember this?
It was so bad.
It
so
was
bad.
Like
brutal.
horrible.
And then once he gets on the submarine thing, and then the last hour and a half is pretty fun. So I was torn on my Rotten Tomato, on my review, just in general, and whether I would give it fresh or rotten. But I did end up giving rotten because that first hour, I was not enjoying it at all.
It's very unfortunate.
I
David
don't
and
know
I
what they're
cried
thinking.
after watching that movie.
We sure did.
We were like, why did this happen to us?
Yeah. Why did Tom Cruise do this to me?
Yeah, like we took it personally. Like we've
Uh-huh.
invested so much time in this franchise, and we're like, it's
Mhm.
the best franchise ever. We don't care. And then we're like, we can't fault anyone for hating this eighth one at all. Like we can't.
Yeah. What were they thinking? I mean, it's never been a series that I've been in like personally invested in the characters. It's just been like a fun action series for me. I've
Mhm.
never been that like, oh, what's going to happen to these characters? And but they think that we're like really, really into it. And also, I felt like a lot of it was slightly Scientology coded, especially when that he hooks up to that when he hooks up to the device, the AI device, and he sees like because they have this whole thing in Scientology where this drafting thing that they do where they uh it's like their substitute for therapy and
Yeah.
and even just I don't know all of that AI stuff felt very like L. Ron Hubbard-y, very kind of thing. And that may be a stretch, but it certainly was like nobody's more important than Ethan Hunt and Tom Cruise. And I'm like, this is just a fun series.
It's
This is
true
not.
though.
It is true though. I'm all for that. I think the problem is they wrote themselves into a corner with the
They
last one because
did.
the AI thing was so stupid and there
It
was nowhere
was.
to go with it. There was
It
just
was
nowhere to go
dumb.
with that story.
I thought they
Mm-mm.
were gonna pivot and then they didn't. And I was like, oh, we're still here and you're
Yeah.
still talking about it. Like there's not much that you can do with it. So it's very unfortunate. And honestly, like I did not like it as a goodbye
Yeah.
whatsoever. Like it was a terrible goodbye to the franchise. And like knowing him, you like especially the ending, like Ethan's just like walking into the middle of a crowd. I'm like, this bro is not closed. Like he's gonna come back
Yeah.
like 100%. And like I would have preferred if they killed him off. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would have preferred it. Because then at
Yeah.
least I know it's done with him. We're not making any more finito, but he's leaving it open, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I watched it. I'm like, well, maybe the big fans will really like all of these callbacks to the other movies. So maybe it's a movie made for the fans. So that's why I was curious to talk to you after you saw it.
Listen, I do not like Mission Impossible 3. And I mentioned
Okay.
this. And the second they mentioned the rabbit's foot being intertwined with this AI story, I was like, oh, you really don't want me to like this at all. And I was so upset with it. It made no sense, that callback, like
Yeah.
zero sense. So I was really bummed. I was bummed.
Yeah.
All right. Well, number 5 is the Fantastic Four First Steps. And I think that I was certainly expecting this to do better. I kind of wonder if maybe because people are saying, oh, they should have released it in November. I kind of wonder, maybe not November, but why not over Labor Day weekend? Because we've lost the need for the sort of the exact. I feel like any weekend these days can be a profitable weekend. And we have big hit movies coming out in February. We have Deadpool came out in February. We have months where there used to just be a dead zone that now we're getting hit movies, and like nothing is like the only thing we would have to compete with is a Conjuring.
They they like messed up on the placement.
Like,
Because to
don't you
put it
think?
right
Like,
after like Superman, I thought was a big
yeah. See,
freaking
that's the
mistake. Like
problem. Is
Yeah.
that it had to compete with not only Superman, but it also had to compete with Jurassic World, and
dumb move.
so people had spent their money, I think. So it made
Yeah.
400. It's made 491 million worldwide on a budget of 200 million. So they're probably gonna lose money on Fantastic Four, which is a big surprise. Yeah.
They will. It's
So
sad.
what did you think? Did you like it? What did you think, David?
I thought it was okay. It was par for the course Marvel. I also, hugely surprised by how bad this did. I had it in my number one, prediction I thought this was going to be the big one, but yeah, I mean, they can't seem to get, a big hit anymore. And not that I
Except
really
for Deadpool and
care.
Wolverine.
Yeah, that was like the last one. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think of it, Manda?
I really liked it. I think again, it's a step up from what we've been getting, which is like bare minimum from the previous films. I love Thunderbolts, but we don't talk about Brave New World. We just don't talk about it. But I thought
Yeah.
Fantastic Four was, it's hard to reboot and like just like introduce these characters because of the previous films, like the 2000s Fantastic Four with Chris Evans and Ian Grufford and Jessica Alba and them, like that's the nostalgic one for me. Like I love that one so much, even if it's terrible. But then they remade it again, and it's like it's always been a really tough journey for these characters. So I think they did it well in this case, and they did focus on family first, which is something that they didn't do in the past, to be perfectly honest. So I think that's why it worked.
Yeah, I liked the family theme. I particularly thought that Sue Storm and her arc of motherhood and what is she going, how's she gonna like deal with these attacks on her son and all of that. I thought that that was all really well done. And
Yeah.
it was, I mean, we had a whole podcast that we did, Manda and I and Molly, where we talked about why female superheroes have been so weak. But I would say that Sue Storm in this one is one of the stronger, and not just in a girl boss way, but in a very empathetic,
Yeah, she's good.
compelling way.
Absolutely.
And so I appreciated that a lot. I appreciated the aesthetic, but it was a little boring, I think.
I also thought the trailers were terrible. As
Yeah.
much as, even though I put it in my number one spot, I thought that this movie was really poorly marketed. There was a part of me that thought this whole movie might take place on a talk show. That's that's how the trailers
Yeah.
kind of sold it.
It's true though. You're not wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. They could have marketed it more, sort of given it more Incredibles vibes, because I think that could have helped it a little bit.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah. Okay, so number 4 was the How to Train Your Dragon remake.
I don't know a single person who saw this movie. Right.
Present.
Well, 627 million
Yeah,
saw
apparently.
it.
Hey.
Budget 150 million, so they are very happy about that. I don't understand why. It was literally the same movie. I mean,
It was.
it had like a couple extra training scenes, but that's about it. I mean, shot for shot, like literally the scenes where he first meets Hiccup. I mean, the scenes where he first meets Toothless, it's exactly the same. And throughout the film, that's exactly the same. So I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't understand the appeal of seeing the exact same movie but just in live action. I don't get it. But I'm clearly in the minority because it did very well. But I think it's one of those live action remakes. I think it'll be instantly forgotten. There's not a human being that would pick to watch this over watching the original at home. Why?
I agree with that.
Unless you're related to the actors. There's no other reason.
Gerard Butler's like, you have to watch my movie.
I don't know. What do you think, Manda? Did you like it?
I thought it was fine. Like, it was entertaining. That's the thing. It's like, I love the animated film. I think it's just gorgeous. But it hits the same emotional beats. So of course that's gonna bring something out in you while you're watching it. So it was fine. It wasn't anything, to cry home about.
Yeah, it hits those emotional beats because the original also hit those emotional beats.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's
a weird thing.
It's the same thing. So
so then we have Jurassic World Rebirth at 3. I thought this was going to be 1, but it certainly is no failure, that's for sure. So this ended up making $845 million at the box office on a $180 to $225 million budget. So I just love those dinos.
They do. They love it even if they don't like the movie, which is hilarious. So
I thought that it was half a decent Jurassic movie. I liked pretty much most of the stuff with the scientist side of things, but everything with the family was just baffling. I was like, what is happening? Why are they like, why do they keep switching back to this other? It was so weird. Especially, why do they have that boyfriend? Like, why? He's a whole, and like, I especially cannot believe that you had that boyfriend character, and I thought for sure he was going to be dinosaur fodder. Like, didn't it seem like the kind of character that was being set up to be
I thought he
dinosaur
would
fodder?
be. I
Oh, yeah.
agree.
I was like, what?
Yeah,
It was
very.
bizarre. And why this father would take his children out into dinosaur infested waters. Like, that makes absolutely no sense. It's not like bizarre. And yeah, so, but most of the stuff with the scientists, except for the very beginning, that was stupid with the Snickers bar wrapper. But other than that, it was pretty fun with the scientists. But everything else with the family, I thought was a real downgrade. I don't know. So what do you think, David?
I hated this movie. I think it's the worst Jurassic movie.
Worse than the last one?
Worse. The last one is so bad, and this actually topped it. I just sat there just in bafflement the whole time. Just I can't believe how bad this is. There was like one moment in the movie that I was like, that was pretty cute, clever, or whatever, but the rest of the movie I just thought was terrible.
And people are all upset about the whole raft scene. Why is she doing that? That's so stupid. I don't care if people do stupid things. Like, if I was being hunted down by a dinosaur, I would probably do some stupid things. But the problem is that the way that they set it up isn't actually scary and doesn't build tension
at all.
And we don't care about the character. So we're not upset about the fact that she's doing this said stupid thing.
Yeah.
And so I don't know.
It's so dumb. You know what's the stupidest part of the movie to me? We don't need to talk about this, but I'm
stupider
gonna
than
say,
the rapper.
I'm gonna say it's when Jonathan Bailey, the scientist, sees the dinosaurs, and it's like a recreation of the first movie, you know, and he's so in awe and so excited. He's a scientist in a world where there are dinosaurs that are so common that everyone's bored of them. And yet he's got this emotional moment of seeing a dinosaur. He's probably seen dinosaurs every day for the last 10 years.
But it's the mutants.
It's so stupid.
It's the absurd. Mutant dinosaurs. The idea that people would get tired of dinosaurs is absolutely absurd.
It's so stupid.
That's the biggest fault of these movies, is that they started with these Jurassic World movies. They started with that thesis.
Yeah.
Which is absurd, especially because this is not like in San Diego where people could go every day. This is on a remote island where maybe somebody could go once in their life if they were lucky, right? It's not like, oh, we're getting so bored of these dinosaurs. Ridiculous. People still go to petting zoos. People still go to zoos, see lions and watch Shark Week every year. People haven't gotten tired of sharks.
They haven't. It's true.
No,
it's true.
So yeah, the whole Jurassic franchise has been so disappointing, and this was no exception to that rule. Okay, at least it wasn't about crickets. The last one.
Yeah.
I think Dominion should just never be talked about again.
Yeah.
We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies merch store.
Are you looking for that perfect gift for the postable, Hardy, or Hallmarky in your life?
What about getting that t-shirt or hoodie that will help you stand out at your next holiday party?
Now is the time to check out the Hallmarkies merch store.
Full of festive designs by artists like Jessica Miller, Carrie from Hallmark Comics, and more.
You can even have more than just shirts, but totes, cell phone cases, notebooks, mugs, and more.
And it isn't just Hallmark. We have designs for Anna Green Gables, Man from Snowy River, The Nanny, and more.
Every purchase at the merch store goes to help support the podcast and allows us to make the great content you know and love.
There are frequent sales, so go to tpublic.com/stores/Hallmarkies or see the link in the description.
That's tpublic.com/stores/Hallmarkies.
So then number 2 is Superman. I feel like how bizarre is it that I sincerely feel like it's the underdog story of the summer.
It
Such a
is.
bad movie.
You can literally classify it as that though, because it had everything working against it. Really did.
Yeah,
So
I mean
I
it's
can
it's
see
like the most
that.
popular superhero in the world, so it's absurd to say that. But nevertheless, like I just felt like it kept plugging away, and it's trying to start this new DCU, and they got all the haters who hate that. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it made him, even though he is an alien, I thought there was such humanity in him and in the performance, and the
Yeah.
rom-com vibes between him and Lois were so much fun for me. I mean, it just shows how like completely starved I am for any kind of romance at the certainly in blockbusters, that I was so happy with the rom-com vibes. And it's not perfect. I think when he is imprisoned in that dimension or whatever, it gets a little boring that time. But overall, I really enjoyed it, and I was happy that it's number 2. It's one of the first times that DC has beaten Marvel in a long time at the box
Yeah.
office.
Which is
So,
crazy.
yeah. What did you think of it, David?
I liked it. I did not love it. To me, it was just par for the course with the rest of these other Marvel movies we just talked about. Like I liked
Mm-hmm.
things about it, didn't love it. I thought it was just okay, but the audience seemed to love it, and we did a live show on it, and it was a fun one, and everyone was
Oh,
into it.
yeah?
Yeah,
That would be fun. I feel like it was so smart bringing in those rom-com vibes.
yeah.
Yeah,
People
we've
like
missed
that.
that.
Yeah, people do. What do you think, Manda, of it? What do you think?
I really loved it. And that's coming from a diehard like Man of Steel fan, like that entire era of DC.
Mhm.
I loved all of what Snyder did, which is crazy, I know. But I really love Cornsway. I think he sold it. I think Nicholas Hoult was a phenomenal Lex Luthor.
Mhm.
They built a foundation moving forward. I think it's going to be really interesting to see the characters that they kind of bring in because I know people are like, oh, but it's overstuffed. And like, I totally get that. But at this point, like, I don't know how else you're going to set up like a new character other than throwing them all into the universe. And like, I kind of teared up because I did see a Green Lantern. So I was like,
Mhm.
I didn't expect that to happen to me, but I really enjoyed it.
Well, and I kind of like that they didn't make it an origin story. Like, we really don't need to see him meet Pod Kent and see all the like. I I,
Yeah.
I'm glad that he and Lois were already dating, and to me that was refreshing. I like that choice, but I know some people didn't, but I did. So I think it was a win, and I'm glad that it did so well at the box office. All right, last
Yeah.
we have Lilo and Stitch. And when I saw this movie, I thought that's exactly the same as the original film. So I was shocked when people were all upset. Oh my gosh, she went to college. She's a horrible sister. She's abandoned her family. And
People are insane.
it's insane. This was their neighbor who they had a relate. It's not like she just dropped her off at the shelter and went like, here, take care of my sister. No,
Like,
she's
it's
like,
just,
and
I
literally
can't.
the last scene of the movie is her cuddling with Lilo, and she has a portal where she can go and visit her at any time. The fact
People are
that this was a
mad.
controversy is the most nothing burger of my whole life. And it makes me crazy because now Disney is not going to want to make any changes at all to these films. We're going to get, they're going to be like more shot for shotty than this was, which was already very shot for shotty. And so it's just like, well, great job, everybody. I'm really glad that you made such a fuss out of this ridiculous ending. But it was fine. It was cute. I didn't give it fresh because it was, I don't know, it was just nothing to me. But she was cute. Stitch was cute. I get it. I get why I did so well. But I could not believe that was a controversy. I don't know. What do you think, Manda?
I don't understand why people lost their minds over that whatsoever.
Thank
I
you.
was like, it makes the most sense if like she wants to go to school. Like, I'm not getting it. She's going to school. She's still seeing her. Like it was a
She's
nice, sweet
young. She's a
ending.
teenager.
Like, why would she want to sacrifice her entire life? It just didn't make any sense. And it's only for a little while anyway. It's not like she left her for good. I didn't understand that. The movie was fine. Like
Yeah, that's how I felt.
I thought Stitch was adorable. I feel like we didn't get enough of Stitch at the same time. Like I felt like they integrated him better in the animated film, but also like the animated film is much shorter than this live action.
Yeah,
And I
that's always
think
the case with these live action. I have no idea why.
but that's why it's so boring. Like, why are we making it longer than it should? Like, I just don't get it. Like, then don't make it. I'm sorry. You don't need to add these little things. You don't, because it made it worse, in my opinion. So,
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people were set because they didn't have Gantu in this, but I didn't really care that much because they were human the whole time, so I didn't really like miss Gantu because it was Zach Galifianakis or whatever, and then they kind of made the they made Jumba like more of a villain character in this than he is in the original. But again, they were human the whole time, so I didn't really it didn't bother me that much, but it wasn't funny. Like all of that with Zach Galifianakis and everything wasn't that funny.
no.
And so I don't know. What did you think, David? Did you see this?
I have not seen it, and I think I mentioned on the last episode, I have not seen the original Lilo and Stitch. So
Oh,
That's right.
okay.
That's
I'll,
right.
I'll probably go with the original and never see this, most likely.
Smart move. Yeah, the original. I mean, it's funny because I actually don't love the original. It's like mid for me as far as in my Disney canon ranking. Because I think it lays on the trauma a little heavy. It's a little heavy, I think, actually, for a Disney movie.
It is.
By the time that they've destroyed the house and just everything, it's like, oh my gosh, what else could you do to these people? But it is very sweet. It has big heart, and I love the animation, so I understand why people love it. It's a good movie. But if there was a Disney movie where I might be inclined to enjoy a live action remake, it might be Lilo and Stitch because I'm not super attached to. But this one, I don't know. It was just a nothing burger. Again, there'll be nobody who will watch this instead of watching the animated film, like with How to Train Your Dragon. But
Yeah.
enough to make $1 billion. So you can't blame them for making it.
They knew what they're, unfortunately, they
It
know what they're doing.
Cost
with
$100
it,
million
so.
and it made over $1 billion. So a
Wow.
way to go to Lilo and Stitch.
Welcome to the Pilot Podcast. My name is BJ.
And my name is Me Too, and we promise this promo is worth it, so please don't skip ahead.
We're two judgy friends who put our judgmental skills to work for you. We review the pilot episodes of new and popular shows and shows that our listeners request to answer your question, should I watch this?
Look, a lot of us are spending a lot more time at home, and yes, we should be reading and trying new projects and enriching ourselves, but does anything beat binging a great show?
Let us take the guesswork out of deciding what your next show will be. Tune in to The Pilot Podcast at thepilotpodcast.com.
Is this summer, was there any other movies that you saw this summer that didn't make this top 13 that you want to give a quick shout out to?
The
What
Naked
about-
Gun. Sorry.
Yes.
Like,
That was such a huge surprise. It was so funny.
holy.
Yeah.
I love that thing so much, and I didn't expect to
Me
love
too.
it because it's like I didn't know if I would vibe with the humor now, but I was in tears. It was so good. It was good.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the one I was gonna say too. I'm so happy that it was as good as it was. The first one is like one of my top 5 all-time favorite movies, and this lived up to it. It was really, really good. I'll also give a quick shout out also to Ballerina, which I loved, but was a huge flop.
Yeah.
Real disappointing that nobody showed up for it, even though everyone still loves the John Wick movies.
Do you think
I don't
it's
know.
just a resistance to female action heroes, or do you think
It sure seems like it. I mean, Furiosa was my number one favorite movie of last year, and nobody
Yeah.
showed up for that either. So people
You're right.
suck. People suck. What can I say?
suck.
You know?
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved a little A24 movie. I saw it at Sundance, but then I saw it again. Sorry, Baby. It's
Yeah, it's
my
good.
it's one of my
Right.
favorites of the whole year. It's
Yeah.
really good. Great script, great story. It manages to be funny, but also be emotional. And so if you haven't seen that, that's the one that I would push on people. It's really good.
I also want to give a quick shout out to Ari Aster's Eddington. I know,
Great.
Rachel, you don't like it, but I freaking loved it. And I didn't
You
like
did?
Bo's
I thought you hated it.
No, I loved Eddington.
Oh, for some reason
I
in our
loved
chat, I
Eddington.
thought you didn't like it.
Oh, no, I was like, I know that you wouldn't. That's why I was kind of like not overhyping it. So I was like, okay, yeah, it was fine. No, I loved it. I loved it. And I think it's a really important watch for the year too. So
I didn't hate it, actually. I was very mixed on it. I think the look at the pandemic was actually kind of interesting, and then it starts to kind of lose me as it gets more insane. But it's another kind of like 28 years later. I feel like it's a movie that is interesting to talk about. So gotta give it
Yeah,
that.
I loved Eddington,
Mm.
but it's a movie that I hated the idea of going into it. I was all ready to be like, this
Fair.
is his first big miss. This is gonna suck. And then it won me over almost immediately. It's just so good.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Another smaller movie that I really enjoyed is this movie called Sketch,
I haven't
about
seen
this
that yet.
girl and her drawings come alive. And they did an incredible amount with like nothing budget. And I thought it had real heart and was really good. I mean, we have to talk for a second about K-pop Demon Hunters, the movie of the summer.
I still have to watch
Incredible.
it. Oh.
The animation, the story, the songs. It's so cool that, I mean, I was really surprised that Netflix did that, even the weekend release, because they usually don't. So that was super fun. I also enjoyed Nobody 2. I feel like more than most. I had a good time with it. I thought that was, and I'd never seen the first Nobody, but then I watched it. I think that is everything. I mean, there are maybe a couple of flops that we could talk about real quick. I know what you did last summer. I think that very much underperformed. I think they thought that was going to do a lot better.
It looked
$32
so
million.
terrible. It looked
I don't know
so
what the
bad.
budget is, but I imagine it was more than that. Why do you think that didn't get the?
I think it was mainly just a bad trailer. Like that movie looked so
Yeah.
bad. It looked cheap. It looked just
Yeah.
like nothing. It looked like nothing except for Remember This Series, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also like a legacy sequel that I don't think was interesting enough to do in the first place. Like
Sure.
it's not something that should have come back. It's
See, that's the thing with these sequels, is that like there's movies that were popular, but did they really have a hive around them? You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah.
wondered that about Freakier Friday, and it didn't do quite as well as I thought it was going to do, but it lagged out. But you know that movies that just because they were popular doesn't mean they have a hive around them that's looking for a sequel, remake, reboot, whatever it might be. And so I think
I
that's,
agree with
is
that.
there I know what you did last summer hive? I don't know. Evidently not, because they didn't come to
I-
see the movie.
I think it's more towards the actors
Mhm.
that were in the original that everyone loved so much that they would follow them to the ends of the earth. But I don't think like that's enough to translate to a sequel or a remake.
Yeah. So then the other one we've got to talk about is The Bad Guys 2. So this did not do very well. It's made $150 million on an $80 million budget, and it still hasn't come out in China. So there is potential that it could get another, say, $50 million from China. But if you watch the movie at the end, there's an obvious cliffhanger for Bad Guys 3. And I'd be surprised at this point if we get that. And I think it was a weird choice. I enjoyed it. I even interviewed the director. I think it was a weird choice for DreamWorks to try to franchise this one because it's not that kid friendly. There's no child characters. There's nothing that's really like cute or marketable. There's nothing that you can really merchandise.
Yeah.
You know, like you could with Trolls or even with Kung Fu Panda, you know, with animals. Like I just feel like this was a weird choice for them to try and spin off into this franchise. And I mean, it's going to lose them money
Yeah,
It
I
will.
think so.
at that, even on the low budget of 80 million.
Yeah.
So that's too bad. That's definitely not what they were hoping for. So there we go. That is, I think, the major flops. We could talk about Karate Kid Legends. That was also kind of a bomb, and didn't do that
Yeah.
well. But it just was. It was. I enjoyed it more than most, but it was nothing special. That budget $45 million. It made $112 million. So that is the box office for the summer. Let us know what you think of all the different films that we've talked about. And how did you do in your predictions? And what are you looking forward to coming up in the fall? It's gonna be an interesting fall season. We'll probably do predictions, but there's not that. I mean, there's Tron Ares, there's Wicked, obviously. There are some Zootopia 2, but it seems like a little bit of a light fall that we're gonna have. So it's kind of interesting. So let us know what you should think, and thank you to both of you. I really appreciate it. And David, how can people follow you?
You can check out Piecing It Together wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow me on social media at Piecing Pod and join my Facebook group Popcorn and Puzzle Pieces, where we continue the conversation about all the movies we talk about on the podcast.
Do you have any live events planned coming up?
Yes. Well, actually, at the time of this recording, I've got the Toxic Avenger coming up in just a few days. And
Oh,
then
gosh.
a little later this month, I'll be doing a Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey, which that'll be a nice change of
excited.
pace. Yeah, from all
Yes.
the horror and superhero and all that stuff, do a little something different for the show. So that'll be a fun one.
Yeah. So Manda, how can people follow you?
You guys can always follow me over at AMX India Reviews on Twitter and Letterboxd. You can check out my Instagram at Amanda Guaraji, and you can check out my website, candidxcinema.com.
Great. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all over social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. And make sure you check out KSL Movie Show for this last month and then into September. I would really, really appreciate that support, and over on their site. Check that out as well. And if you are listening on iTunes, please leave your ratings and reviews. We really appreciate that. And if you are watching on YouTube, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate that so much. We also have the Patreon group, which is the biggest way you can support everything that I'm doing. And you get to be part of our watch-alongs, other Patreon events, bonus episodes, a lot of fun content that you get for free or with your membership for Patreon. So check that out. And we have our merch store, and that is a lot of fun movie design. So check that out. And thanks so much, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Bye.